always good after a win. Even mean nothing wins.
Yeah.
Just kidding. No, like still technically in the race because
Yep.
Minnesota sucks, but there's so much that has to go right, and we have to keep winning. So we'll just kind of curb the enthusiasm and just say, good job. Didn't really give Anaheim any crazy chances. Did what we kind of figured they were going to do and parked the bus. Didn't really do much after scoring 5 in the first. Only 12 shots after that. Max Sasson showing off his speed and why I've kind of been talking about him a lot the last month over the Abby Canucks winning streak and the work he's put into developing that speed and becoming more of an offensive threat. So that was really good to see. And yeah, just a victory you should get over a team like Anaheim, right?
Calvin doesn't care about calming down. He's singing "We Are the Champions" by Queen right now. Classic Canucks fan. Wins a mean nothing game and he's singing Queen.
Absolutely. Plan the parade, right?
Yeah. Parade's back on. Our playoff chances went from 1.2% to 2.2% or something like that, probably.
Oh, there you go. So you're telling me there's a chance.
Yeah. On another game where the power play looked very effective, 2 for 2, 100% on the power play. So that's good to see. Good movement. And Lecker was a part of that. Looked really good out there. It's got to be encouraging, at least moving into the rest of the season and probably next year with showing some good moves on the power play for once.
For sure. When you see, the young guys stepping up in games like this, it gives you hope for the future and next season and what they maybe the holes they're able to fill for pretty low prices. It makes it a little more optimistic that they might be able to go after a big free agent fish or acquire a bigger contract through trade of some sort because of the youth and their development and the work that Malhotra has done with them in Abbotsford. And I just want to defend my reasoning a bit for why I think Malhotra is ready. I think a lot of Canucks fans forget why Tyler Mott, Bo Horvat, JT Miller, some of these guys are so good at faceoffs. Manny Malhotra was our assistant coach for 3 years under Travis Green until he was poached by Sheldon Keefe over to the Maple Leafs to help them because they couldn't win a faceoff to save their lives. And so he went over there for 3 years. He has 6 years on an NHL bench as an assistant coach and has been around the league since he was 18 years old. So to suggest that he's not ready for the job is just crazy talk. He is absolutely ready for the next step of being given a chance as a head coach. And if the opportunity presents itself with all the young guys that he already has a relationship with, it just makes sense for him to step in as the next coach if Tocchet does leave or doesn't have success next year.
Time to have a throwdown between Dustin and Canucks fan 94, looks like.
No, I just think a lot of people do forget that he was an assistant coach for 3 years on our own team. He's the head coach and doing great things now in Abbotsford, but he does have the experience on a bench that you would want from a guy coming in and a new guy, new look, fresh new look, not another recycled coach in the NHL. I just think that we need to move on from that. You look at the recent successful coaches and Paul Maurice is kind of the one-off. But you have like John Cooper and guys like that have just kind of come in, and the younger guys are starting to get a little more respect around the league. So I just think that he'd kind of be one of those coaches like Rod Brindamore in Carolina, where he can outwork 90% of the locker room any given day in the gym and will lead by example. He was an incredible leader on and off the ice in both the locker room and the community. So I just think he'd be a perfect guy for where the Canucks need to go rebuilding their identity.
The Canucks playing a back-to-back. They got Vegas tomorrow, but the nice thing with that big lead coming out of the first period, they were managed to keep the minutes pretty even. You got Marcus Pettersson and Quinn Hughes both playing just over 22 minutes. Hronek playing just over 22 minutes. Forward got 18 minutes. Mancini got 18 minutes. And then DPD, the low minute man, with still getting 15 minutes, which is pretty good. So that should be good to keep the energy level up moving in tomorrow, depending on whether or not Myers can come back in. But even if they went with the 6 guys they had tonight, they'd probably be in a fine place with the minutes that were played tonight, eh?
Absolutely. And like until it looks like they're getting close to a playoff spot again, there's no need to rush Myers back with the defense we have right now. Like there's just no reason to not play the young guys. Just take your chances. If you win them, you win them. And if you don't, it's looking low percentage anyways. So just don't bring anyone back who's got something that might keep them out if you somehow make it to the playoffs. Let them heal as much as possible in these last few games and let the young guys see what they can do, because they're going to take off for their playoffs shortly, and you want to give them as much playing time as you can. You don't want them sitting in the press box or stuff like that or going back and forth between the team.
Do you find it interesting that they do tend to give more minutes to Mancini than they do to DPD?
I don't know if it's yeah, I don't know. It could just be a weird thing of like Mancini's right-handed and can play just in different situations. Whereas on the left side you have um, Marcus Pettersson and Hughes ahead of him in the depth, whereas on the right side, Mancini can jump ahead of Forbert in some situations when you need some offense. So I think that just kind of plays into it. Plus, Mancini's a little more offensive, can skate with the puck a little better. DPD's more of a first pass out of the zone guy, but either way, love what I see from those young defensemen in the roles that they've been thrust into this year.
Yeah, either way, it's nice to not be sweating so much when a player like Tyler Myers leaves the lineup and suddenly we got to bring in like a Juleson or something like that, because obviously Mancini and Elias Pettersson are both huge upgrades on Juleson at this point.
Absolutely.
And then on the forward side of things, when it comes to ice time, you had Garland and Besser with high minute men, and they both looked like they were looking real good tonight. Obviously, Garland with a goal tonight, Brock Besser with a goal tonight. So nice to see some of the top guys doing what they're supposed to do and carrying the game, eh?
Yeah, carrying the game and just kind of shutting it down. I was harping on our defensive play, and against teams like this, you have to be able to shut it down. I kind of laughed when Anaheim scored 2 minutes into the second period. I was like, oh boy, here we go. Russ is going to let me hear it for saying that and jinxing them. But then they settled right down after that one and didn't really give them much after giving up that goal.
All right, we're gonna look at the 3 stars. What do you think in the 3 stars? It's a home game and a 6-2 win for the Canucks. What do you think ends up being the 3 stars of the game today?
Well, considering Anaheim had 32 shots on goal, and the spread out of the scoring, I would say they probably threw Demko a bone and gave him one of the stars, probably 3rd star. Brock Besser, goal and assist. Quinn Hughes with 2 assists. So they're probably the other 2 stars. So Besser 1st star, Hughes 2nd star, Demko 3rd star.
Well, I think Shorty was drunk because they went
Oh
Quinn Hughes,
God,
Quinn Hughes 1st star with 2 assists for some reason. And I mean, he was good, but I don't think he was remotely the best player in the game. Max Sasson scoring a goal, his first one back in the lineup. I guess they're just stoked to see Max Sasson score. And then DPD, the 3rd star, with his 1st goal. And, I kind of can understand giving DPD some love. Maybe the 3rd star might be a good spot for him. But, I mean, maybe it comes down to one of those things. There's probably like 5 or 6 guys that could have been. But because like you said, the offense was so spread out, maybe there isn't a clear 1st, 2nd, 3rd star sort of a thing going on in this game.
Yeah, no, like, I mean, I can see the justification behind both those guys, but that's probably the furthest off I've been all year.
Oh, that's pretty funny. Okay, let's take a minute and get updated on the Abbotsford Canucks too, because we didn't get a chance to update their game that was on Wednesday against the San Diego Gulls. So what can you tell me about that game, sir?
The Abbey Canucks shifting venues to San Diego. And this game, they were pretty solid in the first period, trading goals with the Gulls. Dino Cambites getting a beautiful goal from the top of the slot that soft area that we wish more guys would get to on our team. Cooper Walker finding him with a really nice pass. And then the Gulls kind of were pushing in this one. They got 2 in the second period, 1 even strength, 1 on the power play. But we were able to get a shorthanded goal when we were killing off some of our power play time. Ty Mueller getting behind the defense after a nice pass from Guillaume Brisebois out of our end on the penalty kill and getting one by the Gulls goalie. So we went into third period down 3-2. Third period, all Abbotsford Canucks. Kirill Kudryavtsev getting his 5th of the season, 6:44 into the third period. And then Akito Hirose finding the back of the net, so getting some offense out of our D-men, 2 D-men scoring in the third period there to get the lead 4-3. Max Sasson scoring with 11:25 left to make it 5-3, and then Arshdeep Bains adding an empty netter. You can see the Gulls went for broke there, pulling the goalie quite early in the game. 16:55 was when that empty netter was scored. So they were fighting for some playoff positioning. This game meant a lot more to them than it did to the Canucks. Granted, every point matters when you're working for positioning and wanting that home ice advantage, but just another really good game by the Abbotsford Canucks, adding to their win streak, pushing it to 11. And every win that they add to that is a franchise record now.
Yeah. Got the standings up here now, 11-0 in their last 11 games. They are 1 point behind the Ontario Reign, but they have officially clinched, like you said. They will be playing in the AHL playoffs, which is good to see. And it was funny to see, too, Max Sasson unassisted his 10th of the season, then gets called up to the big club and gets another one unassisted. So a couple games, a couple goals for Max Sasson. And I see Archie Baines as well getting his 10th of the season. So both those guys hitting some pretty good numbers. And then even just looking back, the Akito Hirose, you look at Cole McWard getting his 18th assist of the season. So all these guys that we've been chatting a lot about this year have actually been stepping up and making some things happen, which is good to see.
Absolutely. And of course, the Abbotsford Canucks will look to extend that winning streak tonight. Again, going up against the first place Laval Rocket. They are first place in their division. They have 92 points this season, so it'll be a tough test for the Abbotsford Canucks, especially missing a lot of their big guys as we saw them play this afternoon for the Vancouver Canucks. But the work that the team has done to develop a good next man in structure has held them up through this win streak. And they'll go tonight at 7 and tomorrow at 4 p.m. for a 2-game series against those Laval Rocket and hopefully extend the streak.
Another short turnaround, which seems to happen in the AHL.
It does seem to happen in the AHL.
So the Canucks have a short, well, not a short turnaround, but a decent little turnaround. They've got the Vegas Golden Knights coming into town tomorrow night, a team that the Canucks do tend to struggle against. The Golden Knights have already beat the Canucks twice this year, 3-1, 3-1 in December and February. So this is the third game of the 4-game set. What are you expecting from the Vegas Golden Knights tomorrow, who have already clinched against the Canucks team that is desperately trying to hold on to that 2% chance?
I just expect a tough team, fast offense that will strike quickly off the rush. Jack Eichel loves to just cut across the blue line, cut to the middle, and snap the puck. So, you got to be ready for that. The nice thing is, like you said, we're able to roll all the lines tonight, so hopefully everyone should have some sort of legs tomorrow night, but they're going to have to be ready right out of the gate. Vegas likes to start quick, strike fast, and strike often. So we'll have to see what kind of effort they're bringing, given that they have clinched, but obviously they're looking to hold on to their advantage of home ice. So, always a tough test, and hopefully we can get another 2 points.
Yeah, it's crazy too, because if you look at the standings right now, you got Vegas in the top of the Pacific Division with 98 points, and then LA with that win today pulling in within 1 point of them, and then pretty crazy to see LA taking Oilers to town today. So the Kings are definitely putting some pressure on the other L team that is at the top of the standings there. So it should be interesting to see what happens tomorrow night. whether or not the Jets even care about the game. But the thing I was going to say about the Vegas Golden Knights as well is Jack Eichel is having an absolute beast of the season. It might be the first time that a Vegas Golden Knight hits the 100-point plateau, which you've never actually seen the Jets do, the Golden Knights do, despite their big wins over the years.
Yeah, well, staying healthy for the longest amount of games in a season as well in his career. So, except for I think his first 2 seasons, or first season really is the last time he played more than 80 games.
Yeah. Now you're taking the kid to, was it practice or something like that?
Nope, we are off to see the Minecraft movie.
Oh, nice.
So we are headed to the theater now, and he's been looking forward to that since the trailer was announced. So we're off to see the movie and get some popcorn and enjoy the rest of our afternoon.
Cool. Is there anything you want to say to chat before I let you go, brother?
Thanks for dropping by. Another a nice big victory with some actual offense to watch, some exciting stuff, and we'll see how far these guys can ruin their draft lottery chances.
Yeah. Canucks logic at its finest.
Absolutely, and we'll see you all tomorrow night.
Oh, awesome, Dustin. Enjoy the movie, and we'll talk to you tomorrow night.
Sounds good.
Nothing is perfect.